Hi Taurus, welcome my ball gang. Happy. Welcome to your March 2025 AstroTarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. I just want to say a massive thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being a part of my community. I truly appreciate you. And with that said, remember, if you're only going to watch one of these, make sure it's for your ascendant. It's going to be the most accurate for you on that day-to-day level. With that said, I will also say, remember, when I'm talking about astrology, I'm talking about whole sign tropical Western astrology for those of you that would like to know. With that said, I wish you, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So these will be for your lunations, and this will be for the bulk of your read. So the first transit, and if I ever forget to mention a transit or the degrees, you will be able to find that stuff in the description of the video, so do not panic. All right, so for your first transit that I want to explore for you, this is going to be the energy of Venus. Your ruling planet is going to go retrograde in the sign of Aries in your 12th house and reverse back into Pisces as a part of that transit, right? But she starts at 10 degrees on the 2nd of March. Now, and this is a 12th house transit for you, right? Venus is going to start tracking backward in that 12th house. It's a deeply introspective transit, right? Now, Venus for you rules you, your body, your personality, your outlook, the way you navigate through life, but it also rules your physical health and vitality, your work on a day-to-day level, and also the things that you're slave to, right? The 6th house is the maintenance that we have to do on and for the things that we want to keep or to hold dear in our lives. Now, it's going retrograde. This is in the 12th house. This is a deeply introspective transit where the themes of your self-worth, your hidden desires, and also your private longings in some way, shape, or form are going to come to the surface. Now, Venus in retrograde is asking you to really reflect on what actually matters to you beneath the surface, the parts of yourself that you really very rarely share with anybody. Old patterns in love, in relationship or partnership may be coming to the fore here. It might also be a time for you to reevaluate how you feel about yourself. It might also be a time for you to pay attention to your dreams. The 12th house is your dreams and your sleep. Venus retrograde in the 12th could be changing the way that you sleep. Your sleep habits, your sleep patterns could be shifting and changing in some regard. Now, because Venus also rules the 6th of your physical health and vitality, it could be a time where you're reconsidering how to prioritize your physical and emotional well-being and how that's more important at the moment. Are you overworking yourself? Are you neglecting your self-care? This transit's really asking you to slow down, recalibrate from the inside out, right? To really rethink how you look after yourself in terms of your mental and your spiritual health and vitality, and your physical health and vitality, and also how you spend your days. Like, what are you doing on a day-to-day level? For this, you've got the Supreme. Okay, I see you with the 2 of Wands. Love that. And the Son of Wands, right? So remember, although Venus rules luxury and pleasure and, sweet things and, because Venus is a sweetener, she's potentially in the 12th and retrograde. This could see a lot of your proclivities, your self-sabotaging tendencies, bad habits, obsessions, addictions, etc. They could be heightened. What I would prefer you to see this as, though, is it's coming to the surface so that you can get to the root cause of what it is, right? What habits have you built up for yourself that are actually not helping you? Now, the Supreme says that you can turn this round to your advantage as long as you're tapping into the spiritual nature of the transit. The Two of Wands with the Supreme card is saying that there could actually be very lucrative insights in it for you, providing you're willing to put your money where your mouth is and show up. This is where you're going to have to find it in yourself to kind of, to ante up in some way, right? You're going to have to show up here. And what I mean by this is it's not like you have to run yourself ragged or into the ground. Venus retrograde in the 12th is saying do the opposite of that. What it is saying though is how you spend your time. You've got something to prove there to both yourself and to the world in some way, shape or form. It could also be that a lot of you are considering some kind of shift and or change, and potentially for some of you, this could also be highlighting a potential move to somewhere else in the world. So, no pressure. All right, so for the next transit that I want to look at for you is the Sun is going to come into a conjunction with Saturn. This is also known as a Saturn Cazimi, right? So this is happening in your 11th house, your higher aspirations, visions and goals for the future. Your 11th house also represents benefactors, people that can help you. It also represents your future, right? Like your real envisioned future, like what your dreams are for where you want your life to go. It's also a house of aspirations, right? What really feels like it's pulling you in a certain direction. Now for you, Saturn in your chart rules Aquarius, which occupies your 10th house of your career, your social status and public standing. It also rules your 9th house of higher education, foreign travel, wisdom and learning. Now, the fact that this conjunction happens in your 11th house, this could be about really finding a new sense of vitality and confidence. And it really maybe helps you think about building new friendships, new networks, new future goals. And maybe the conjunction is also asking you to take your future goals and aspirations that much more seriously. Remember, Saturn represents the reality check, where you have to get serious about something and set realistic plans, right, for achieving them. Saturn is a builder, right? Saturn says, right, these are my foundations. This is what I want. These are my foundations. These are the consistent steps that I'm going to have to show up with. Saturn is where we have to put in the sweat, right? The stuff that makes us stinky, right? Saturn is not adverse to that. I always laugh about that. Like Saturn, because old people and like that old, like anything old or worn down or sweaty or smelly or anything like that. Saturn's not afraid of that stuff, right? This is the sweat that you put in the gym so that you can get the body or the weight loss or the whatever it is. This is where you got to get a little stanky with it. Saturn demands discipline. So this is a really ideal time for you to assess the structure and the viability of the goals that you've built for yourself. It's also encouraging you to really think about your social circles. Are there people that you're connected with that really align with the future version of yourself that you see? Or are there people that actually you look at and you think, wow, you know what? Yeah, this is not going to get me to where I want to be. Now, in a trine to Cancer in your 3rd house, right? This is giving you the emotional grit and mental, because the 3rd house represents the mind, the mental and emotional Cancer and energy from Mars. It's right, and Mars trine Saturn. It's giving you the mental and emotional persistence and also fortitude that you need to make the goals and the steps and the structures that you need in order to achieve those goals in your life. Big moment. As if that wasn't enough, on the 18th of the month, sorry, that transit's on the 12th, by the way. On the 18th of the month, the North Node and the Sun are going to come together. This is a fated meeting in some regard, right? In your 11th house, which is a destiny and a future house anyway. Opportunities that show up right now through friends, social connections, might really help you take a significant step forward. So the reevaluating that you do when Saturn is Cazimi and it trines Mars, the evaluation that you do at that time around your social structures paves the way for an opportunity. And this, because it is the Sun conjunct the North Node, you're only going to get another one of these for 18 more years, right? So it's not a once in a lifetime thing, but it's definitely not an opportunity that will show up every single week, every single year. You get one more of these next year, and then you're done for the next 18 years, right? Now, the next 9 years technically, but the North Node won't come back into Pisces until, because it leaves in 2027, and won't then come back until, for 18 years from that point, right? It'll go into, the South Node will come into Pisces in 9 years, but it's a different transit. This is a big deal because you're only going to get one more of these, as I say, for the next 18 years. This is not just about dreaming big. It's about a connection that could literally turn your dreams into a reality. The involvement of the North Node, which brings that sense of like this big, bold energy in where you're like, you know what, I'm going for it. It suggests that someone significant, perhaps a big fish client, a collaborator, could come into your life, take your goals, your aspirations, and say, yeah, you know what, let's take these to the next level. If you've been hesitant about sharing your ideas or asking for support, the transit is really helping you take like that big sort of next leap. And maybe, just maybe, your tribe, not your acquaintances, but your actual tribe, may really surprise you with the level of encouragement and the willingness to help you. For this, you got that Eight of Cups. If you want the big stuff, you got to go where the big stuff is. You got the Tower card, and this could be great, but it could also be disruptive. And then you've got the High Priestess. What I'm going to say to you is, whatever shows up around this time of the month and around this transit, around the 18th, so let's say the 17th, the 18th, and the 19th, if this is like a secret that's revealed or whatever, and it's got something to do with your past, this is a test from both the universe and the forces of chaos to say to you, well, you've just been handed this amazing opportunity on a plate. Are you going to focus on this one thing that's come to light now that, yeah, okay, maybe it hurts, maybe it doesn't feel very good. Are you going to sit and be down in the dumps about this? Or are you going to focus on this fucking massive opportunity that you've got in your midst? You can have one or the other, but you're not going to be able to have both. That's what I'm going to say to you, Taurus, and I'll leave it there. For the next transit that I want to look at, as if that wasn't enough, Neptune is going to go Cazimi at this point. Now, you've had one of these every year for the last 14 years. But what's different about this, well, this is the 15th one, I would say, actually. This is the last one. Neptune takes around 150 to 160 years to orbit the zodiac, right, or to orbit the sun, which means, and then it's going to move. And then Neptune moves into Aries at the end of this month, and by then the sun will have moved on. And then by the time in 2026 the sun comes back to Pisces, Neptune will have moved full time into the sign of Aries. The reason this is a big deal is because it means this is the last one. This is the last time the Sun and Neptune are going to illuminate your area of dreams and visions and benefactors. This transit is inviting you to think about a bigger future for yourself and the world, because Neptune has a truly altruistic feeling to it. It's the last time that it's happening, so the energy is going to be powerful and transformative. Creative inspiration is at an all-time high. Put a pen to paper, sit and do some visualization. You're going to feel like this surge of hope and idealism about your future. Like, I will say, obviously, Neptune can distort, it can blur the boundaries, it can create illusions and fantasy. So, do what you do best and find a way to stay grounded. But even still, This could be pretty powerful stuff, right? Just try to keep it realistic. For this, you've got the Judgment card. This is literally, right, the final judgment, the call, the last call, as it were, with the Six of Cups. Wow. And the Hierophant card, which is literally you. What are you willing to forgive? What are you willing to let go of? What are you able to transcend and move beyond for the sake of a brighter future for yourself? Right? Because Neptune is forgiveness. It's, you know, washing the sins and stuff away and all the rest of it. What are you willing to let go of now? What are you willing to insert as a new belief and a new affirmation for yourself of where your life really can go from here? That's what you're being asked to consider here. And it may be for some of you that you take a really big step forward that has a link to the past in some way, shape or form. Okay, and then finally, as if that wasn't enough, Neptune will move into the sign of Venus will be back there right at this point, as will Mercury, I believe. I think Mercury's the day after, so I'll leave that there just in case. Neptune moves into the sign of Aries, into your 12th house. Your deep inner world, your sleep pattern, is coming out of your 11th for goals for the future into your house of spirituality, introspection and sleep. Neptune is coming into the base of your consciousness, and it's going to really help you explore the deeper layers of yourself, of your soul, of your psyche. Neptune here is going to amplify your intuition. It's going to amplify your connection to the unseen, and it's going to be a really powerful time for spiritual growth. And if you use it as such, it could be incredible. Now, this placement can also bring escapist tendencies or a bit of a confusion if you're not careful. Over time, though, over the next 14, 15 years, you will come to understand that this is a journey of a spiritual awakening and a brand new sense of self-discovery. For this, you've got the Six of Wands. That's victory. You've got the Four of Pentacles. Okay, I love that. So whatever you're, and the Sun card, right? Whatever you're learning at this time from this taster, because it's just a taster. Later this year, Neptune will come back into Pisces, as I say. It's just a taster, but what it does say to me is what you learn about yourself at this time will translate directly into the material realm in some way. So you might be able to gain spiritual insights that turn into money-making ideas. Remember, this is Neptune, right? And remember, it's the 12th house. So you will need to keep an element of this where it is altruistic. If you just go straight to the greed, that Neptune energy will wash you out. Be careful, all right? Now, outside of that, on the other side of it, shine, baby, shine, right? Like, what more could you ask for? Absolutely beautiful. So, before we get into your lunations, I want to make an announcement. So the wait list for my tarot course is open. Now, that being said, you're going to be seeing this on my socials everywhere. You're going to be seeing it on the YouTube community tab. You're going to be seeing it everywhere. I'll make a video. If you want to study tarot at level 1, which is from beginner to intermediate with me, I'm going to take you on this journey for 12 weeks. You get live classes, bonus videos, you get more PDFs than you can shake a stick at. As if that wasn't enough, there are live Q&As, there's live client practice, live client demos. As if all of that wasn't enough, I know that there are a lot of you that are like, Raf, you know what, it sounds amazing, but the time difference is insane. I'm not going to be able to make it. And there's a lot of you that say, Raf, you know what, I don't know if I'm cut out for that. I'd really like to just learn at my own pace. And I've always said, this is not a correspondence course. So what I did was create a teach yourself tarot course that's going to run all year round, right? So you can sign up whenever you want. It's 13 weeks though. You can do this in your own time. So it's a double launch, right? A double launch. You get you can work with me for 12 months, 12 weeks rather, where you get all of the good stuff. and, you know, and the live component, or you can do it in your own time and your own space. Completely up to you. Either which way, it would be amazing to have you on board. So make sure you stay tuned, because the waitlist will open on the 5th of February. Sorry. March 2nd, the course begins. I had a real brain fart moment there. I was like, no, that doesn't make sense, right? So you will be able to sign up to the wait list, and then obviously you'll be notified when doors open. There's only 20 spaces on the live course. So if you want to study with me for 12 weeks, the live course, there's only 20 spaces, so that I can give you all one-to-one actual interaction and connection. Whereas the Teach Yourself Tarot, there's no limit on that. All right, so for your lunations, on the 14th of the month, you've got a full moon lunar eclipse very close to the south node. Let me turn that upside down. As you know, my south node went up the Hoover, unfortunately, right? So this is in your 5th house, right? This full moon lunar eclipse in your 5th of creativity, romance, pleasure, sex, self-expression, right? It's also the house of children if you have them. It might reveal truths to you at this time about how you've been showing up in all of those areas. It could also help you think about whether you're making enough time for joy and play. Are your creative endeavors really fulfilling? The 5th house is also a personal business. Do you have a personal business that you want to change in some way, or that you want to reveal to the world? If you're finishing a project and ready to put it out into the world, this could be a great time for it. Probably not the best time to start something brand new, right? If this is a completion, however, it's a very good time for that. 5th house also rules children. Parenting, nurturing of others, and or yourself, your own inner child is also highlighted here. Your message for this is the gate 25, 27 and caring. And the message behind this for me is because this is about family. It's about the people that connect to you, or, you know, that you connect with, that you can be yourself with. And also, this is about news, and good news at that comes to you from your children. Radiant reality is my baby, right? So your personal business can also be that. Now, on the 29th of the month, we will have a new moon solar eclipse in the sign of Aries. This is the last one. It's just a partial, but it will still pack a wallop, right? It's the last one in that sign, certainly for a good long while. So this is highlighting again that 12th house, right, which is being lit up for you. There's a lot going on in that space as well. It's a potential for new beginnings in your inner world, in your deep sort of internal life. It's a time to set intentions around healing. This is not a manifesting moon. Remember, we don't use eclipses to manifest because they are technically malefic events. With eclipse energy, it might feel like a reset button for your mental and spiritual health, which could actually be very good. When we do have eclipses in the 6th and the 12th, though, it can disrupt sleep. So if you have that around this time, just know it's coming to a close. For this, you've got the gate 12 and caution. The caution is around whatever gets in your way. Interesting, look, that it's a 12 and it's a 12th house moon. But this card also says sometimes you've got to throw caution to the wind and you've got to go for it, right? Whatever that looks like to you, sometimes you just have to give it your absolute best. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic month of it. Take care, and I'll see you soon.